So you guys, I have lost 25 pounds since January, and I'm so excited to share with you how I've been doing this. Okay, so I've been trying this crazy thing this last month. It's called going vegan. So we're going to jump in. First thing I'm going to do is start with the word, because that's where all good things begin. And so let me read to you Proverbs 25:16, which says, "When you find honey, eat just enough, lest you are stuffed and vomit it." And then we have Proverbs 25:27, "It is not good to eat too much honey, or honorable to seek one's own honor." So, with those two verses in mind about how we shouldn't overeat on our honey, let's jump into today's story. So, for the most of my childhood, I grew up very healthy, like in good shape, did lots of athletics, whole bunch of stuff like that. Got into college, felt really fit, felt like I looked really good. Um, Thought I'll never get to be overweight. This is not a problem for me. It's an issue for other people. I can I know what I can eat. I can eat what I want. I don't overdo it, and then just go about my life. And then something started to happen. I got married. I had children. And after my first baby, I thought, I am good. I lost the baby weight. Everything went great. Had my second daughter. Again, maybe gained about 5-10 pounds afterward, but it's okay. Going through all the changes that have happened, I rationalized it. Well, I had another baby, and another baby, and another baby. And after 5 daughters, I found myself looking in the mirror one day and realizing I am horribly overweight. And I was starting to feel pretty heavy. I was showing up in pictures, not recognizing myself. My legs were starting to hurt. I was having all these sort of health problems that I knew were directly tied to my weight. Now, when I was having children, I wasn't worried about my weight because when you're nursing and you're pregnant, that is not the time to be stressed out about your weight. But as I started to have my last daughter, I was really concerned with my weight and where I was because I wasn't able to enjoy all the things that I wanted to do with my girls. I was getting winded at the park. I got an injury that was on my ankle that really took me out, and the weight was making it worse. And so I realized I had to do something drastic to get my weight under control in order to manage those other symptoms. So I went through a journey and I thought, I've got to lose weight. I can figure this out. I've done stuff like this before. I lost baby weight with my other babies. I can lose the weight after this one, which was compounded weight because it was from 3, 4, and 5 that I continued to gain weight. So it's not like it went away in between. But by the time I was done with my fifth pregnancy, I realized things have to change. So I started looking at all sorts of diets. I looked at keto. I looked at nutritarian. I looked pretty much everywhere except vegan. So it was a funny thing for me, and I never in a million years thought I would even be interested. I thought these poor, sad vegan people have no idea what they're missing. So let me back up to January of this year. I had met with my doctor and I had told him that I wanted to lose weight. And he gave me the dreaded news: get rid of sugar and dairy. Oh, so I went home, told my husband, and on the way home, bought a carton of ice cream. Because when you're told you're not going to go on, or when you're told you're going to lose sugar and dairy, that's when you go grab the ice cream and you eat it one last time just for flavor and all the things that you're going to miss. And so that's what I did. I went to the grocery store, got my carton of ice cream, came home, said, okay, the diet starts tomorrow. Only I meant it. I wasn't doing the diet starts tomorrow and then tomorrow again. So, January, I went ahead and I quit sugar and dairy. Now, when I say sugar, I mean added sugar, and I cut it all out. I did a whole month cleanse, all the whole month of January, and I went ahead and stopped eating added sugar, which is insane because there's added sugar in everything. And if you don't believe me, take a look at the grocery store and go through all of the things that you normally buy. So I went ahead, cut all that out, ate mostly whole foods, switched my bread because there's sugar in bread. I switched it to Ezekiel bread, which takes a passage from the Bible and they make bread out of certain ingredients. So it's all whole sprouted grains. It's delicious. It has a short shelf life, so you're probably going to find it in the frozen food section, but it's worth checking out. So I went ahead and got that. Of course, the next problem was, well, what are you going to put on your toast? Because you can't have butter. So I just skipped it and learned to eat cinnamon raisin Ezekiel bread by itself. And then I found at the grocery store one of the things that I really loved to eat for the month of January, and that was Lara bars. And I wouldn't just buy like a single Lara bar. I would buy entire boxes worth of Lara bars because my doctor said as long as they don't have added sugar and dairy and I cut those out, I should be losing weight. And I realized that Lara bars are a lot of calories. And so when you eat 6 of them in a day, you pretty much have eaten all the food that you're allowed to eat for a day and lose weight. Well, I was eating Lara bars on top of my regular meals and then realized at the end of the month I didn't lose a single pound. Okay, so what's up with that? I quit sugar, I quit dairy, I did the things. And then I went back to my doctor and we talked about it. And he asked me what I ate in a day, and I told him I was on apples and peanut butter. I was eating Lara bars. I was having Ezekiel bread. I was doing all these cool, wonderful things. I was even having a salad once a day. And then he asked me, have you ever counted your calories? So he gave me an app to count my calories with. I said, okay, great. And he also told me, as long as you follow all of the things on this app, you should be losing a pound a week. So I did. I went, made French dip sandwiches for the family. Thankful that I could now have bread again, because he did tell me I could eat bread again. Went ahead and made that and counted my calories. And I was shocked at how many calories there were in certain foods that I was eating. But had you told me that 5 years ago I would be counting calories, I would have called you crazy. But I was determined that I was going to make this work and follow my doctor's advice. So I got the app, did the whole no dairy thing, left the dairy behind, still couldn't give up bread, and so I kept that in. But I tracked everything. We went through, and I started to lose weight. Just a little bit here and there, maybe half a pound to a pound a week. Well, fast forward a month or two, and now I'm getting my husband in on it, and the two of us have decided we're going to eat really healthy for a while. And so we began to look at Dr. Bernard and a few other people who were talking about doing plant-based diets. And so my husband and I set up this experiment that we would do 6 weeks on a vegan diet. So we went and looked at Forks Over Knives. It's an incredible documentary. If you haven't seen it yet, please check that out. And they mentioned going vegan. Now, I had only had one other experience with anybody I knew going vegan, and that was many years ago when I tried to offer someone an apple pie that I had, yes, baked with butter, and they let me know that they could not eat it because they were vegan. And I looked at them like they were crazy because who can pass up an apple pie? But that was all the experience I had with being vegan. So fast forward to now, and here I am hearing all these different health benefits to being vegan. So as of this last month, my husband and I decided to try it. And we have been strictly vegan for nearly a month now and have found that it's been going really well for us. The very first week was a little bit tricky because I didn't see myself losing as much weight as I thought. And so I kept researching a little bit more to find out that some of the foods that I was eating, albeit vegan, were not the most healthy or the lowest in fat. So, for example, I went ahead and grabbed my apples and peanut butter, which were my go to snack, made me feel so good. And found out that my peanut butter, sadly, is mostly fat, which is what my body was craving. And it's what my body was wanting to eat. Only I wanted it to eat the fat it already had, as opposed to telling me to eat the peanut butter that I really wanted. Olives were another thing that I realized they're a fat source too. So I tried to cut those out as much as possible. And the pounds started to drop really fast, which was great because I knew I was holding on to all these extra pounds, and it's really been a blessing and felt good. I have more energy than I thought. I have more energy than I had in years. I'm starting to race up the stairs and beat my kids, which is amazing. The clothes that were getting too tight are now starting to fit. This blouse is one of them. It was one of my inherit blouses from last year that I got, and I couldn't wear it because it was too tight. And now I can fit into it, which is phenomenal and feels so good to be able to do. And some of my symptoms that I had been having are starting to go away. Now, for some of you who are hearing this, you're probably like, vegan? I know I would have said that a few years ago. Why would you go vegan? That seems so drastic, so dramatic. But let me tell you, when you are experiencing some of the things that I was going through, it doesn't feel that dramatic to change what you're eating. It actually makes sense to change because none of the food that I was enjoying before tastes as good as I feel now. And so I would much rather enjoy those healthy meals and know that I can enjoy them guilt-free than have a carton of ice cream, feel guilty about it, and then gain more weight and have all the other side effects that go with it. And one of the things that I found out in the beginning of researching all this was that most cultures have been built on really only incorporating meats and special foods on special occasions, which is probably what we should be doing in the first place. But kind of the overwhelming wealth of our country has pretty much put us in a position where we feel like any day's a celebration. Like, hey, I worked really hard today. I've earned a slice of cheesecake. Oh, I did a good job at the office. Let's celebrate with a pizza. We did X, Y, and Z activity, so we deserve X, Y, and Z treat. And so I just encourage you, if you find yourself slipping into that, or your health is like mine and was deteriorating to a certain point, and you want to get that quality of life back, then try it because it's not as dramatic as it sounds. There are so many foods that I get to enjoy that I really love to eat. Vegetables and hummus, beans and rice. These are amazing foods that I get to still enjoy eating. Chili, just without the meat. There's so many things that I can still enjoy. I'm not starving myself, and it feels really good. So as I continue down my weight loss and vegan journey, please join me, hit that like button, and subscribe so you can see what's going to come next. Thanks so much. Bye.